Allison, it did seem that the Supreme Court was prepared to reverse the convictions of those two state officials behind Bridgegate. That's the scandal that created a monumental traffic jam in 2013 on the George Washington Bridge, and also tarnished the image of New Jersey's Republican Governor Christie. Several of the justices appeared today to be skeptical of the prosecution's theory of the case, that the two committed fraud by lying about their reason for closing the bridge. The officials said they needed to conduct a study of traffic patterns, but a jury found that the real reason was to punish a mayor who refused to endorse Christie's re-election. Christie, by the way, was in the courtroom to hear the argument. But here's the background. A federal court jury returned guilty verdicts against former Christie aide Bridget Kelly and Bill Baroni, who was the deputy executive director of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. That's the organization that controls the bridge. The jury found that they shut down 2 of the 3 bridge lanes leading from Manhattan to Fort Lee, New Jersey, as political punishment. What makes the case controversial is that if you think about fraud cases, they typically accuse public officials of taking something, of diverting public resources to line their own pockets. And there is no such claim in this case, and that seemed to bother several of the justices. Justice Elena Kagan, for example, said that was a problem for the prosecutors because, she said, the object of this deception was not to obtain property, it was to create a traffic jam and benefit people politically. And several justices seem concerned that if the court upholds these convictions, then it would open the door to charging any public official with fraud by asserting that he or she lied in claiming to act in the public interest. So that might include, for example, a city official who orders the potholes repaired in a neighborhood where they support the mayor, but justifies it on policy grounds. So the court's announcement in July that it would take up this case did seem to signal that at least some justices thought the government overreached in bringing these fraud charges, and it surely seemed that way today. If the court throws the convictions out, this is further going to weaken the ability to prosecute public officials for fraud. By the way, both of these former officials were sentenced to prison for their role in the Bridgegate scandal. Kelly was to report this past summer, but she was allowed to remain free while the case was on appeal to the Supreme Court. Baroni had started serving his sentence in April, but then he was released on bond when the Supreme Court agreed to take up the case. So that's how it went. We'll get the decision probably by late June. Back to you, Allison.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.